In this video I will introduce pandas. We will import the pandas package, we talk about data imports, we introduce pandas DataFrames, we explore different ways of data visualization within the pandas package. We will work with the pandas series. We go into indexing, we go into conditioning, and finally we convert the pandas series into a Numpy array. Let's first import pandas. The first thing to note is we stored our data in the same folder, so we don't have to change directory. To read the data set, we have to understand what kind of format we have. In this particular case, we work with a comma separated format, so a so-called CSV file. I call the object simply data when I use pd.read_CSV. Now the dataset refers to Chinese household data, which I used in a recent paper. The details are down below in the description. Again, all the code, all the data, everything is on GitHub. Again, the link is down below in the description. If you have any issues, just drop me a line or leave a comment. Once you run it, you see now a new object emerging. We call this data. The type is a DataFrame, so that's a pandas DataFrame, and you can double click on it. We of course in Spider, so we can easily explore our data set. And we have here data on income, household income, and fixed assets of households. Good. Quite often, if you don't work in Spider and you can't easily visualize your data structure, it's useful to look at a few examples. I can do this by referring to my data object, and I use the head method. Now the head method displays the first 5 observations, the first 5 rows. You can also do a tail method, so that's just doing the same, but starting from the final observation. Good. The first thing I quite often like to do is, if I focus on associations between variables, I just do a simple scatter plot, and we now have our scatter plot. Again, of course, you can save it, you can modify it. If you only want to select one of these variables, for instance income, how can you do it? There are different ways to actually achieve that. One way is to simply refer to my data frame and in rectangular brackets use the name of your column, so like income. So that would give you a pandas series. We can now assign this to a new variable. I call this income and just run this. Another way to achieve exactly the same is to use the name of the column like an attribute, just using the dot operator and then inc. So that also works. Sometimes, however, in particular if you have many variables, and you might have hundreds of these variables, using the name of the variable might not be very efficient. There is another way of achieving the pandas series, or selecting a pandas series using indexing. To index, you have to use the so-called ilog method. So I show you that. So we can do income is equal to data. I now use the dot operator, use ilog, so the ilog method. And in rectangular brackets I can now select. The first one is always the rows. If I use the column, and you already know this, we have done this in indexing for lists, it selects all the rows, which means all the observations. The second one would refer now to our columns. In this case I only want the first column, so I just put 0. The good thing about indexing is you can also select observations. For instance, we can focus on the first 100 observation by modifying the endpoint. Another thing which is very useful is to condition, so to select data based on certain conditions. So that is in particular very important if you want to deal with outliers, and we will talk about these issues in other videos in more detail. So how does the syntax work? So we can refer to data again, so I reassign the data set. I refer to the previous data set, and then in rectangular brackets I can put a condition. And I can do a condition on one of these variables. So I can do data.inc larger than 10,000. So this would select only households that have a minimum of 10,000 income. You can also combine your conditions as follows. I just call this again data. It's not the best way of doing it. I refer to data which has been already pre-selected here. And now I add a few more conditions. So let me just be a little bit stricter on this one, and we go up to 11,000, so it will be more strict. And now I want to add another condition. You would be very tempted to use the typical AND keyword and throwing in data.fixed assets and do a condition like this one here, maybe 1,000. The issue is the AND keyword would use our normal understanding of conditioning, which would not refer to the fact that we operate here in a series. So Python would be puzzled how it should actually apply it, because this condition might be met by some of your entries but not all your entries. So this is why it starts complaining. So how to handle this? It looks a little bit non-Pythonian, but you use this to combine the two statements, so the AND symbol, and you have to put brackets around the individual conditions, and you would run this. So this would operate then on an item by item basis and run through your series. If you run that, it won't complain. The last thing I would like to show is to select a Numpy array from your Pandas series. If you go to the Pandas series income, we could call this differently. I call this inc Numpy. So I refer to my Pandas series and just use the values attribute. Yeah? So if you run this, you get a new object, income Numpy, and you see the type is different. Yeah? It contains the same observations as the series, but the type is now a Numpy array, yeah? Which might be useful for certain operations. So that's all I wanted to cover. I see you in the next one.